The night before the college entrance exam in my previous life, my stepsister deliberately set my alarm clock back by 1 hour, causing me to miss the start of the Chinese exam. My parents, however, claimed she hadn't done it on purpose and forced me to stop damaging her reputation. After failing the exam, I was sent to work in a factory, while she used the family's money to go abroad. When I opened my eyes again, I found myself back on the night she sneaked into my room. I turned on the surveillance camera, locked the door from the inside, and this time, I was determined to make her pay. The first sound of the door lock made me think I was still in the factory. The machines roared, conveyor belts spun rapidly, and the smell of rubber mixed with sweat. My fingers were crushed into a mold, pain blurring my vision. Someone nearby shouted, "Lin Zhao, what are you staring at? Do you want to keep working?" I snapped my eyes open. No machines, no molds, no iron-walled factory. Suffocating me, I was lying in my small room from my senior year of high school, the wall covered with a countdown calendar, a date circled in red, June 7th, the day of the college entrance exam. I stared at the calendar, my heart clutched tightly. Then the door lock clicked again, softly, as if someone was afraid of waking me. Slowly turning the doorknob, memories from my past life crashed into my mind. The night before the exam, I slept deeply. When I woke up the next day, bright daylight streamed through the window. The alarm clock showed 6:20. I thought I still had time, but by the time I rushed to the exam site, the Chinese exam had already started 15 minutes ago. The invigilator wouldn't let me in. I cried so hard I could barely stand, and I called my dad. His first words weren't asking where I was or what happened. He said, "How could you be so careless? How could you sleep through something this important?" Later, I found out it wasn't that I overslept, it was Lin Nianwei who had entered my room the night before, setting my alarm back by a full hour and unplugging my phone charger. When caught, she cried bitterly, claiming she had only wanted to check my alarm and accidentally pressed the wrong button. My father, with a stern face, told me not to make a scene. Stepmother Sun Mei held my hand, repeating over and over that my sister didn't mean it. They said, since the college entrance exam was already ruined, making a scene wouldn't change anything. Lin Nianwei was still young, she shouldn't bear the reputation of harming her sister because of this. What did I do then? I cried, I begged, I broke down, but in the end, they forced me to swallow it all. That year, I only had a few exam scores left, and the results were dismal. Retake the exams. Sun Mei said there was no money at home. My dad said, your sister also needs to go to school, the family can't revolve around you alone. They sent me to an electronics factory introduced by a relative, telling me to work and save money for a year first, but I never made it back to the exam hall. The education fund my mother left for me was transferred by my dad to pay Lin Nianwei's study abroad deposit. On the day Lin Nianwei dragged 2 large suitcases to the airport, she wore my mother's favorite white cashmere coat and smiled at me. Actually, people's fates are different. Even if you get into college, you might not have a chance to go out. Later, I had an accident at the factory and injured my right hand, but I couldn't afford rehabilitation. My dad came to see me, bringing only a bag of apples. He said, don't blame Nianwei, she's under a lot of pressure abroad now. That day, looking at the ceiling of the hospital room, I finally understood. Some people's favoritism isn't a momentary lapse of judgment. It's a decision they made from the very beginning about who deserves love and who must sacrifice. The door creaked open a crack. I turned my head slowly. In the darkness, Lin Nianwei walked in barefoot, wearing a pink nightgown, her long hair draped over her shoulders. Her movements were light, even her breath was held. She thought I was asleep. I didn't move. My phone lay beside the pillow. In my senior year of high school, I had installed a small camera on the bookshelf to record explanations for wrong test questions, linked to a phone app. In my past life, I never imagined what this thing might capture. Now, I unlocked my phone with my fingerprint. The screen light dimmed to its lowest. In the surveillance footage, Lin Nianwei walked to my desk, where a mechanical alarm clock, an admission ticket bag, a transparent stationery pouch, and my ID card, checked 3 times over, were placed. She glanced at me first. I kept my eyes closed, breathing calmly. She reached out, picked up the alarm clock, and slowly turned the button on the back. 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock. She stopped the alarm hand precisely at 7. My fingers tightened gradually. Not by accident, not by mistake. She knew exactly what she was doing. She put the alarm clock down, then bent over to the socket, unplugging my phone charger. Then she reached for my admission ticket bag. The moment her fingertips touched the bag, I pressed record. turned on the bedside lamp, and the light flickered on. Lin Yanwei froze completely. She whirled around, her face losing color bit by bit. I sat up and looked at her. "Take it," I said softly. "Why aren't you taking it?" Her lips trembled. "Sister, you weren't asleep." I threw off the blanket and got out of bed, barefoot on the floor. She instinctively retreated toward the door. I moved faster than her, closed the door, and locked it. Click. The night fell into an eerie silence. Lin Yanwei's pupils widened sharply. "Why did you lock the door?" I picked up my phone, pointing the surveillance footage at her. "What do you think?" She lunged forward immediately to grab the phone. I stepped back, holding the phone high, while the other hand pressed record. "Don't grab it." I stared at her. "You adjusted the alarm clock, unplugged the charger, and went through the admission ticket. Everything was recorded." Her expression shifted from panic to forced calm. I didn't do anything," she squeaked. "I just wanted to check if you'd forgotten anything for tomorrow's exam." I pointed at the alarm clock on the desk, then explained this. "Why is the alarm now set to 7 o'clock instead of 6? Her eyes instantly turned red. That was her skill. Just a moment ago she was harming someone, and the next she could cry like the victim. "Sister, are you under too much pressure?" "I really just touched it. I didn't know it would change." I smiled. The last time, I was fooled by her tears for far too long. I immediately dialed the phone number of our homeroom teacher, Ms. Zhou. Lin Yanwei's face turned pale. "What are you doing?" The phone rang 3 times before connecting. Ms. Zhou's voice was hoarse, as if she had just woken up. "Lin Zhao, what's wrong so late at night?" I looked at Lin Yanwei and said slowly, "Teacher, my sister just came into my room. She changed the alarm clock I use for tomorrow's college entrance exam from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., unplugged my phone charger, and even went through my admission ticket bag. I have surveillance footage. I'm worried I won't be able to take the exam normally tomorrow, so I'd like you to witness this for me." Ms. Zhou instantly became alert. "Don't get excited. Are your documents still there? Is she in your room? Is the door locked?" "Yes, it's locked." "Good. Don't have any physical confrontation with her. Save the video and send me a copy immediately. I'll contact the grade director right now and also confirm your situation with the exam staff. Where are your parents?" Before I could answer, my father's voice sounded outside the door. "Lin Zhao, why are you locking the door in the middle of the night?" Sun Mei's voice followed. Nianwei, are you in there?" Lin Nianwei, seeing a lifeline, immediately cried out, "Mom, my sister locked me in the room. She scared me to death." The door was pounded on loudly. I said to the person on the other end of the phone, "Teacher, my dad and stepmother are here." I turned on the speaker. "Ms. Zhou said firmly, "Turn it on." I pressed the speaker button and walked to the door, but didn't open it right away. "Dad, Aunt's son," I said. "Lin Nianwei came into my room in the middle of the night and tampered with my alarm clock. I've already recorded it." Teacher Zhou was on the phone, and outside the door, there was a brief silence. Then my father's voice lowered. "What nonsense are you talking? Open the door first." Sun Mei immediately burst into tears. Zhao, your sister is just worried about you. What ill intentions could she possibly have? Don't scare her." Hearing these words, a chill ran through my stomach. Exactly the same, just like in my past life. What ill intentions could she possibly have? She just slowed down my alarm clock, just made me miss the college entrance exam, just took the money my mom left me, just stood on my ruined life and flew abroad. What bad intentions could she possibly have? I opened the door, and my dad, Lin Jianhua, was standing outside in his pajamas, his face ashen. As soon as Sun Mei saw Lin Nianwei, she rushed in and hugged her tightly. "Nianwei, you must be terrified. It's okay, Mom's here." Lin Nianwei sobbed uncontrollably, her shoulders shaking. "Mom, I just wanted to help my sister check her things." She suddenly turned on the light and locked the door. I thought she was going to hit me. My dad immediately looked at me. "Lin Zhao, what are you causing trouble for the day before your college entrance exams?" I handed him my phone screen. "Read this first before you say anything." The video played, showing Lin Nianwei entering the room to set the alarm, unplug the charging cable, and flip through the exam admission ticket bag. Everything crystal clear. Sun Mei's crying paused for a moment, and my dad's face froze too, but only for a second. He quickly frowned and said, "You installed a surveillance camera in your own room. Who are you guarding against? We're a family living together. What's the point of doing this?" I nearly laughed out loud. The evidence was right in front of them, but their first reaction wasn't to ask Lin Nianwei why she harmed me. Instead, they questioned why I had the evidence. Teacher Zhou spoke coldly over the phone. Mr. Lin, the focus now isn't the surveillance footage. The issue is that tomorrow is the college entrance exam, and Lin Zhao's exam materials have been tampered with. My father's face darkened. Teacher Zhou, this is a private family matter. The college entrance exam is not a private matter. Teacher Zhou replied, any behavior that disrupts a student's ability to take the exam must be taken seriously. Sun Mei immediately interjected, Teacher, Nianwei didn't mean it, she's just a child, immature and too nervous. I stared at her. She was the same age as me. Sun Mei choked on her words. Lin Nianwei cried and said, Sis, I really didn't mean to. I just saw how stressed you've been lately and wanted to help. I picked up the alarm clock and asked, help me change it from 6 to 7. She cried even harder. I misread it, unplugging the charger. I was worried leaving it plugged in too long might be unsafe. Flipping through the exam admission ticket, I wanted to check if you missed anything. I nodded. All right, then let the police and teachers hear it. See if they believe you. I started dialing 110. Sun Mei screamed, Lin Zhao, are you crazy? Your sister still has to face people tomorrow. My dad grabbed my wrist forcefully. Enough, he roared. Are you still taking the exam tomorrow? Calling the police in the middle of the night. Do you want the whole neighborhood to know? His grip was so strong it hurt my wrist. In my past life, it was always like this, every time I tried to speak the truth. He used his authority as a father to suppress me. I looked up at him and said, let go. He froze. I spoke word by word. If you don't let go now, I'll call the police on you too. My father's eyes flashed with disbelief. Perhaps in his memory, I had always been the obedient daughter. After Mom passed away, he said life was tough for the family and I needed to be sensible. After Sun Mei entered our home, he said, as the older sister, I should yield to my younger sister, so I let Lin Nianwei take my notes, wear my clothes, and snatch my competition materials. He said family shouldn't keep score, so I didn't, but they didn't know. The Lin Zhao who could endure died in that factory building the year she turned 20. The person standing here now crawled back from the filth. My father slowly loosened his grip, and I redialed the number. This time, I answered the phone calmly. Hello, I'm a candidate taking the college entrance exam tomorrow. Someone entered my room tonight. Adjusted my alarm clock, unplugged my phone charger, and went through my admission ticket. I have surveillance footage. Now, the family is asking me to delete the video. I'm worried about my safety during tomorrow's exam and would like to file a police report. Sun Mei's legs went weak, and she nearly collapsed to the ground. Lin Nianwei stopped crying, her face as pale as paper. My father suppressed his anger. Lin Zhao, do you have to ruin this family? I looked at him. It wasn't me who ruined the family. It was the moment she entered my room in the middle of the night. 15 minutes later, the police arrived, along with our neighbor, and he, who was wearing a coat. She peeked in the doorway. Oh my, what's going on? I just heard someone knocking and talking about the college entrance exam alarm. Sun Mei immediately tried to close the door, but I blocked it with my hand, and he, you're just in time. Please listen too. Sun Mei glared at me fiercely. Lin Zhao, I didn't pay attention to her, after watching the video. The police officer's expression also turned serious. The college entrance exam is tomorrow. I nodded and checked my documents. In front of everyone, I opened the exam admission ticket folder. The ticket was there, and so was my ID card, but I soon noticed a small scratch on the side of the bag. I emptied everything inside and realized one item was missing, a photocopy of my ID card, an extra document the school had required us to prepare. I looked up at Lin Nianwei, who immediately screamed. I didn't take it, I really didn't. I crouched down and checked under the desk where she had just been standing. Nothing by the bed, nothing by the door either. Teacher Zhou's call was still connected. He heard the commotion and immediately said, Lin Zhao, take photos of all your documents and send them to me. I'll be waiting for you at the entrance of the exam site tomorrow morning. I said okay. The police officer took a record, reminding me to keep the video and not delete it privately, and also advised me to hand over important documents to a teacher or a trustworthy adult during the college entrance exam. Sun Mei was still crying. Officer, there's no need to record such a minor misunderstanding between children. They're sisters. The police officer glanced at her. The college entrance exam is tomorrow. This isn't just a minor misunderstanding. Those words felt like a slap across Sun Mei's face. Lin Nianwei finally stopped crying. She lowered her head, glaring at the floor with a venomous look. I knew she hated me, but she didn't know I had waited for this day for too long. After the police left, my dad closed the door. his face dark and terrifying. Lin Zhao, are you satisfied now? I reset the alarm clock back to 6 o'clock, charged my phone, and put my admission ticket and ID card into a transparent bag. Not yet, he paused, and I looked up. I'll be satisfied only when I walk into the exam room on time tomorrow. Lin Yanwei finally couldn't hold back and cried out, Sister, how could you do this to me? I already said it wasn't intentional. I looked at her and said, Lin Yanwei, remember this, I've backed up the video from my phone to the cloud and sent a copy to Teacher Zhou. Not all tears can wash away evidence. That night, I didn't sleep in that room again. I sat at my desk, checking my exam supplies over and over. At 2 a.m., Teacher Zhou sent a message. ID photo received. I'll wait for you at the neighborhood gate at 6:20 a.m. tomorrow. I stared at those words, my eyes stinging. In my past life, I thought I had no one to rely on, but it wasn't that no one could help me, it was that I learned too late to ask for help. Just before dawn, I heard faint footsteps outside the door. I checked the monitor. Lin Yanwei stood at the entrance, clutching something in her hand. She didn't come in, she just slipped a crumpled copy of her ID card under the door. Then, in a barely audible voice, she said through the crack, Lin Zhao, don't get too smug. Even if you make it into the exam room, Mom and Dad won't be on your side. I picked up the copy, smoothed it out slowly. She was right. They wouldn't stand by me, but in this life, I didn't need them to stand by me. At 5:40 a.m., I washed my face, tied my hair, and laid out my admission ticket, ID card, stationery bag, and spare pens one by one on the table, taking photos. In my past life, I was still asleep at this time, my alarm clock set to a slower time, quietly lying on the desk like a conspiring eye. By the time I woke up, fate had already stolen an hour from me. This time, I watched the real time, hearing the phone alarm ring precisely at 6. The sound was ordinary, yet it felt like a belated judgment. Outside, in the living room, hushed arguing could be heard. Sun Mei had cried all night, her voice hoarse. Jianhua, you can't let Zhao Zhao hand over the video to the school. What about Nianwei's future? If her file gets stained, her whole life will be ruined. My father's voice was impatient. Then go talk to her yourself. She listens to you the most. I opened the door. The living room fell silent instantly. Lin Yanwei sat on the sofa, her eyes swollen like walnuts. When she saw me, she instinctively shrank behind Sun Mei. Sun Mei immediately stood up, forcing a gentle smile. Zhao Zhao, you're up. Auntie made you some eggs. I glanced at the table. 2 eggs, a glass of milk. On the day of the college entrance exam in my past life, after I missed the test and returned home, the table had the same 2 eggs, now cold. Sun Mei handed them to me, saying, eat a little, don't ruin your body crying. Life isn't just about the college entrance exam. I cried so hard I couldn't hold my chopsticks. Lin Yanwei sat beside me and whispered, Sister, I'm sorry, but there was not a trace of remorse in her eyes, only an unmistakable sense of relief. I turned my gaze away. I don't eat anything from this house. Sun Mei's face stiffened. Zhao Zhao, what do you mean by that? Exactly what I said. I placed my stationery pouch into a transparent file folder, then slipped my phone into the inner pocket of my coat. My father finally spoke up. Lin Zhao, let's put last night's incident behind us. I looked up at him. He was sitting on the sofa, trying to act like the head of the household. You've already called the police and disturbed the teachers. Nianwei cried all night. Today is your college entrance exam. Don't let this distract you. Delete the video. I'll have her apologize to you later. Can't delete it, I said. He frowned. What do you mean, you can't delete it? It's backed up. Lin Yanwei's face turned pale instantly. Sun Mei's voice trembled. Backed up where? I looked at her. Guess. My father slammed the table and stood up. Lin Zhao, are you really going to ruin your sister? I smiled faintly. Dad, that line sounds so familiar. He froze. I said, last night when she tampered with my alarm clock, you didn't ask if she was trying to ruin me. Now that I've kept evidence, you're asking me if I'm trying to ruin her. The living room fell into deathly silence. Sun Mei's tears fell again. Zhao Zhao, how can you say such things about your father? He's caught between you 2 sisters. This is hard for him. He's not hard. I zipped up my backpack. He just chose the one who's easier to bully. My father's face turned livid. He stepped forward, reaching for my phone. Give me your phone. You can't bring it into the exam. Leave it at home. I took a step back. I'll hand it over to Teacher Zhou outside the testing site. I'm your father. Last night, The police officer also suggested I hand over important items to a trustworthy adult. The 5 words, trustworthy adult, pierced my father's face like needles. He raised his hand as if to hit me, but I didn't dodge, just looked up at him. Go ahead, hit me. There's surveillance at the entrance, neighbors in the hallway, and teacher Zhou arrives at the community gate at 6:20. If you hit me now, I'll walk into the exam hall with injuries. His hand froze mid-air. Sun Mei quickly stepped in. Jianhua, don't be impulsive. Lin Yanwei suddenly burst into tears and threw herself in front of me. Sister, I'm begging you, please don't give the video to the school, okay? I really didn't mean it. I was just too nervous last night. I was afraid you'd do poorly tomorrow, so I wanted to help you check. I looked down at her hand clutching my sleeve. Last life, she had held me just like this. She said, Sister, don't call the police, I'm scared. She said, Sister, if I get punished for this, I'm done for. She said, Sister, you're good at studies, even if you don't do well this time, you'll still have a future. I'm different, I can't withstand even a little storm, so everyone told me to give in to her, to give in and give in, until I gave up my own life. I pulled my sleeve out of her hand. Lin Yanwei, stop pretending. Her crying stopped abruptly. I leaned closer, speaking in a voice only the two of us could hear. Your hand was very steady when you set the alarm clock. Her pupils contracted. I straightened up and walked toward the door. Sun Mei followed. Zhao Zhao, where are you going? Your dad will take you. No need. I opened the door. Auntie he was standing in the hallway holding a trash bag. Seeing me, she immediately asked, Zhao Zhao, going to take the exam? I nodded. Good morning, Auntie he. She glanced at the faces of the people inside, said nothing more, and only said, do well on your exam. I heard about what happened last night. Don't be afraid. Auntie can vouch for you. Sun Mei's face turned dark instantly. I sincerely said, thank you. As soon as I stepped out of the building, the sky was just beginning to light up. A white car was parked at the entrance of the neighborhood. Teacher Zhou stood beside the car, dressed in a simple shirt, holding a bag of breakfast in his hand. When he saw me, he quickly walked over. Did you bring your documents? Yes, here they are. I handed him the transparent file folder, and he meticulously checked each item before finally letting out a sigh of relief. Get in the car. I got into the car and only then noticed a spare set of stationery on the back seat. Teacher Zhou glanced at me through the rearview mirror. Have you had breakfast? No. He handed me breakfast. Soy milk and steamed buns. Eat on the way. Don't take the exam on an empty stomach. I took it, my fingers slightly stiff. Thank you. Teacher Zhou was silent for 2 seconds before saying, Lin Zhao, you did the right thing last night. In such situations, preserving evidence immediately, seeking help from teachers, and filing a police report, none of that is shameful. My throat tightened. In my past life, the phrase I heard most was, family scandals shouldn't be aired in public. No one ever told me protecting myself wasn't shameful. The car pulled up near the exam site, and the roadside was already packed with students and parents. Some were adjusting their children's collars, others handing them water, and a few holding up phones to take photos. Seeing those nervous yet tender faces, my heart suddenly ached, not out of envy, but from finally admitting that I, too, had once longed for someone to tell me on this day. Don't be afraid. Teacher Zhou parked the car and handed me his phone. I turned it off and gave it back to him. He tucked it into his bag and pulled out a sheet of paper. This is a printout of the ID photo you sent me last night. Might not be needed, but I brought it just in case. I froze. He added, once you're inside, don't overthink anything. Chinese is your first exam, and it's always been your strongest subject. Well, in this life, at least. My heart skipped a beat. Teacher Zhou didn't know about my past life. He only knew I was good at Chinese. Gripping my pencil case, I nodded. I'll do well. Just as I was about to walk toward the exam center gate, my dad's voice called out from behind me, Lin Zhao. I turned around to see him, Sun Mei, and Lin Yanwei chasing after me. Lin Yanwei's eyes were even redder, and Sun Mei was supporting her, as if holding a poor little thing I had bullied terribly. My dad quickly stepped in front of me and lowered his voice. Come with me. Teacher Zhou blocked his way beside me. Mr. Lin, the exam is about to start. Whatever you have to say it after the test. My dad suppressed his anger. Teacher Zhou, this is a family matter. Teacher Zhou didn't back down. This is exam time now. People around us were already staring. Sun Mei immediately changed her tone, her eyes red as she said, Zhao Zhao, Auntie isn't here to cause trouble. I just wanted to tell you, don't take your anger into the exam. Nianwei really didn't mean it yesterday. She didn't sleep all night and insisted on coming to see you off. I looked at Lin Nianwei. She bit her lip and whispered, Sis, I'm sorry, can you please stop being mad at me? I'm afraid it'll affect your exam. Of course, she'd say that, 1 second harming me, the next pushing the responsibility of affecting my exam back onto me, as if not forgiving her would mean I was ruining myself. I didn't respond to her. Instead, I took my exam admission ticket from the transparent bag and held it up in front of my dad. I'm only doing one thing today. My dad frowned. What? Entering the exam hall, I turned and walked away. My dad instinctively reached out to grab me. But Teacher Zhou's voice turned stern. Mr. Lin, I stopped but didn't turn around. Dad, I said, the first time I'd called him that since my rebirth. If you try to pull me back at the exam center gate, I'll immediately report to security that someone tried to sabotage my college entrance exam last night, and today my family is still trying to stop me from entering. His hand froze mid-air. The stares from other parents nearby grew more obvious. Someone murmured, sabotage the exam, really, son? Mei panicked. Zhao, don't say such nonsense. I turned to face her. Am I lying? Should I play the video right now? Lin Nianwei finally burst into tears. Sis, why do you have to be like this? I replied calmly, because I don't want to miss it again. The bell for the Chinese exam rang, and students began entering. I didn't look back at them. Security check, verification, entering the building, climbing the stairs. Each step felt like treading on the ruins of that stolen hour from my past life. When I walked into the exam room, I saw my seat, third row by the window, the desk clean, the answer sheet neatly placed. The invigilator reminded everyone to check their stationery. I sat down, my palms slightly sweaty, not from fear, but from being too awake. At exactly 9 o'clock, the exam papers were handed out. I flipped to the first page and saw the essay prompt. This scene had appeared in my dreams countless times. In those dreams, I was always barred from entering the exam site. Always hearing the sound of the iron gate closing. Always watching others walk into a life I could never re-enter. Now, the exam paper was in my hands. I lowered my head and carefully wrote, Lin Zhao, in the name field. After writing those 2 characters, I suddenly smiled. Lin Nianwei, that hour you stole from me, I've taken it back. Throughout the entire Chinese language exam, I wrote more steadily than in any mock test before. Reading comprehension, classical Chinese, the essay. Every stroke I put down felt like a reply to my past self, telling her, don't be afraid, this time we made it in. When the exam ending bell rang, I put down my pen, feeling as though a stone that had weighed on me for years had finally cracked open a fissure. As I walked out of the exam hall, the sunlight was blinding. Teacher Zhou stood waiting for me at the exit. He didn't ask how the exam went, just handed me a bottle of water and said, You've worked hard. I took the water and was about to speak when I saw Lin Nianwei standing under a tree not far away. She wasn't crying, nor was she pretending to be pitiful. She just stared at me with pure resentment in her eyes. I knew she wouldn't let this go. Sure enough, before the afternoon math exam began, my backup pencil case went missing. It disappeared while I was resting in Teacher Zhou's office. After the morning Chinese exam, Teacher Zhou, worried about me going home, had me stay in the school office until the afternoon assembly. My main stationery pouch had been by my side the whole time, while the backup pencil case had been shoved into the side pocket of my backpack by Sun Mei before I left home that morning. She'd said at the time, Zhao, Auntie knows you're angry, but the exam is what matters. Take this backup, just in case your pen breaks. Don't blame the family for not preparing. I hadn't used her things, but I never expected they'd even use a backup pencil case to play their games. After lunch, I checked my belongings and found the side pocket empty. Teacher Zhou immediately frowned. When was it last there? Before I came into the office, I said, but I didn't touch it. There were several teachers in the office, and the hallway had surveillance cameras. Teacher Zhou asked, what was inside? I shook my head. I never opened it. Andy's son stuffed it in there this morning. His expression changed. Don't panic, your main stationery is still here, so the afternoon exam won't be affected. We'll look into it after the exam. I nodded. During these 2 days of the college entrance exam, the most important thing was getting into the exam hall. No unexpected incident could dictate my emotions. In the afternoon, I entered the math exam hall as usual. In my past life, I had missed the Chinese exam, and for the remaining subjects, I wrote through tears, my mind filled with thoughts of, it's over, it's useless, my life is ruined. This time, as the pen touched the exam paper, My heart grew calmer instead. After finishing the exam and leaving the hall, I saw Lin Yanwei at the stairwell. She was also a candidate, but not at the same test center as me, so logically, she shouldn't have appeared here so quickly. Standing beside her was Sun Mei, who burst into tears the moment